Now, for those who have been around for a while, you know we have covered the Bad Batch every episode, but then we stopped. There was a particular reason as to why we stopped. Episode 3 was the last interesting episode they have released. Season 2 has been a majority of filler the entire time. And filler's good. Filler is sometimes very entertaining. The last 3 episodes, so that is 3 weeks worth of content, has been entirely filler and not related to the actual story at all. It doesn't progress the plot, but it gives us some fun character interactions, and if that's what you're there for, then you'll enjoy those episodes. Picking up from where Cody left off, Cody, in the 3rd episode, if you do not remember, saw the issues with the Empire and defected as a clone trooper. Admiral Rampart blew up Kamino in the 1st season of this series, and episodes 7 and 8 tackle the fallout of this lie coming to the public. He publicly stated that a massive storm knocked out Kamino, and most of the clones that actually know the truth were forced into silence by Admiral Rampart. Admiral Rampart has an assassin out trying to kill one of these clones who knows the knowledge of what happened to Kamino, the actual knowledge that Rampart bombarded it and completely destroyed it to try and push the Empire's new legislation and get stormtroopers in the ranks instead of clone troopers. Many argue that this is a overreach of the Senate and that the army was only a emergency provision because of the war, and that they never should have had one in the first place if it weren't for the war. Therefore, it should be gone now. Others argue that because there is still resistance from the separatists in other small corners of the galaxy, that they should still need to be producing a bigger galactic army. A senator goes out and finds this clone and starts collaborating with them, involving Senator Organa as well. They eventually find this clone, and they get all the information transferred to them. The senator is now offering this clone, hey, come to the Senate, prove a point for me, prove that they came after us. But then he gets shot by the assassin Admiral Rampart had hired. This assassin was also ordered to kill the senator if the senator knew anything important, which they did. So a prolonged fight ensues. All hope is seemingly lost as the senator is cornered, all her guards are dead, and the shadowy assassin figure starts walking towards her, when the shadowy assassin figure shoots over her shoulder to knock out the actual assassin. We turn around to look back at this shadowy figure we thought was the assassin, and it's excuse my wording, it's Commander Rex. I at first thought this would be Cody because Cody was represented earlier in this season, but no, we're bringing back Captain Rex from the 1st season. Gotta love it. Captain Rex is my favourite clone trooper, so I've got nothing against it. They go to question this clone trooper, but they find out his serial number had been removed, which most clones thought wasn't possible. Captain Rex contacts the Bad Batch to invite them to help him out. They devise a plan to go onto Admiral Rampart's ship and steal the ship logs, basically cameras all over the ship depicting what happened at Kamino, to prove this to the Senate and make the Senate not ratify stormtroopers who would replace clone troopers. And at this point I'm like, this seemingly is going too well. How does this fail? How? Because we all know, we've all watched the original trilogy, we know that stormtroopers ultimately end up winning this. So at this point I'm confused, but we continue. The Bad Batch sneak onto Admiral Rampart's ship, using, again, stun to get rid of all the clone troopers, but then when air support is provided, it gets shot down and blown up, because fuck stun. I don't know how air support was meant to suppress them from getting the knowledge that was inside the ship. I don't understand that at all, actually. That makes little to no sense, but whatever. They get inside the ship, they slowly download the information, they hold off a few stormtroopers, air support gets up in the air, they kill the air support, they eventually escape unscathed. And here we go to the next day, where Admiral Rampart is finally presenting the final version of the bill. All the concessions have been made to appease clone rights, and everything has been done to his liking. A tense argument starts happening, as the senator who survived the assassination starts accusing him of blowing up Kamino himself. He vehemently denies these claims until the Bad Batch eventually arrive with the ship logs, which are then displayed in like a hologram type of way, and show everyone the destruction of Kamino by Admiral Rampart. At this point, the Emperor comes up from the floor and gets directly involved, getting Admiral Rampart arrested, but then he brings up an interesting point. He says,
However, he did not act alone. The fact that the clones under his command so blindly followed orders, inflicting such carnage without hesitation, gives me pause. Perhaps it is time for a change. Now, more than ever, building a strong galaxy requires protection and security. Due to the nefarious actions of Admiral Rampart and the immediacy of the bill on the floor today, it is my opinion that this legislation is our future. With this momentous act, we shall usher in a new era, heralded by the Imperial Stormtrooper.
meaning, yeah, that's where it all went wrong. Technically, the Bad Batch just made all clones homeless and jobless. And this is where I believe the interesting part of this series is going to start picking up. We might still get some side episodes because Echo leaves with Rex now, going back to the original way it was in the original Clone Wars series, and the rest of the gang hop back on their ship and fly away to do presumably 3 more filler episodes. But this is where I think the clones start an uprising. I have a feeling that the clones aren't going to go down without a fight. And we still got plenty more episodes of this to go.